Cryptids, mystical creatures that have been documented but remain elusive in this world. However, as time goes on, the conversation regarding cryptids has increased in both scope and number. The number of reported cryptids existing has exploded. The following are the 10 most common to be reported to exist today. Here are 10 mystical cryptids that may actually exist, Part 2. Number 10 is Altamaha. Discovered by the local Tama Native American tribe in Georgia, United States, long before its colonization by Britain, the Altamaha lurks in the waters in and around the Altamaha River. Lurking in streams and rice fields, it's often referred to as Alti for short, but the Altamaha is most often spotted near the mouth of the river, particularly in the city of Darien and other parts of Georgia's McIntosh County. The creature has been described as having the body of a gigantic sturgeon, with a long bony crest that runs all the way along its spine and its massive tail. Altamaha's body is grayish in color, and it moves along using two large fins as front limbs, and a long tail with a flipper at its end. The scariest feature of this cryptid is the snout, which resembles that of a crocodile, complete with sharp teeth. Number 9 is Dorhu. Also known as the king otter, the Dorhu is a creature that is said to inhabit the waters of Ireland. Said to look like a cross between a dog and a sea otter, with thick skin and a protective layer of fur, this mysterious creature is truly vicious. It's allegedly responsible for the death of at least one person, a woman named Grania, who was attacked by the king otter in the 17th century. Grania was outside washing clothes when it attacked, tearing her into pieces. Her husband heard her screams from inside the house and ran out to see the end result. His wife was dead. He killed the beast and then another one of them when it attacked him shortly after. Grania's gravestone is still in Cornwall Cemetery today, but is the threat of the Dorhu truly over? Number 8 is the Black Demon. For as long as human beings have swam in the world's oceans, they've feared the giant beasts that call these waters home, specifically the sharks. But there's one shark that truly makes the sea a dangerous place. Spotted off the waters of the Baja coast in Mexico, the Black Demon of Cortez is a massive black shark that many believe is an ancestor of the gargantuan megalodon. Experts have chimed in, saying the giant creature could be a whale shark or even an oversized great white shark with melanism, a condition in which dark-colored pigments overdevelop in the skin, making it much darker in hue than the average great white would appear. However, others are convinced that there is a monstrous predator out there, ready to swallow you whole the moment you go for a swim. Number 7 is Tahoe Tessie. Said to inhabit Lake Tahoe in California, Tahoe Tessie is a serpent-like creature that has been spotted multiple times by a number of witnesses. Stories of her date back to the mid-19th century, where they were shared by the Paiute and Washoe tribes who lived in the area. Reporter James Whitworth Argyle named the monster after Tahoe Tess, a local prostitute he was fond of, and the name modernized to better reflect the infamous Nessie in Scotland. Some of those who spotted the monster have said Tessie is only 3 meters long, while others have claimed she could be up to 24 meters in length. Her coloring also ranges from green to black. With such a range in descriptions, could it be that there are multiple Tessies? Perhaps this secretive creature has managed to reproduce, making the waters even more dangerous. Number 6 is Akuro Kamui. A figure out of Shinto and Aku folklore, Akuro Kamui is a monstrous half-octopus, half-human creature that's said to call Funka Bay in Hokkaido, Japan home. However, it's been apparently seen in a number of other watery locations in other countries, such as Korea and Taiwan for hundreds of years. Considered to be female in gender, this aquatic monster is described as being over 120 meters in length and bright red in color. John Batchelor, who allegedly saw the creature in the 19th century, described her color as resembling the color of the reflection of the setting sun upon water. It's also believed that should you find yourself in her tentacles' grasp, it's nearly impossible to escape. It's no wonder why Okuro Kamui has gained the nickname Ashkante Mat, or the long-fingered woman. Number 5 is the lizard man of Scape Ore Swamp. First spotted in 1988 by Christopher Davis, a 17-year-old resident of Lee County, South Carolina, the lizard man of Scape Ore Swamp inhabits the area's swampland and is said to be responsible for damaging multiple vehicles. The creature is described as a greenish humanoid with scaly snake-like skin, 3-fingered hands, and red eyes. It stands over 2 meters tall and always appears to be wet, as if it's just crawled out of the swamp from which it's named. Multiple other sightings have been reported of the lizard man, including in 2015 when a local television news program revealed photos and video evidence of the monster that was taken by individuals that were never officially identified. With this exception, no solid proof of the lizard man has been brought forward. However, the creature still has many locals terrified. Number 4 is Black Shuck. If you ever find yourself roaming the countryside of East Anglia, England, be sure to keep an eye out for the black shuck, because it may already have its hungry eyes on you. Often referred to as an omen of death, the black shuck is a large ghostly black dog with fiery eyes. First mentioned in 1850 in Notes and Queries, a scholarly journal published by the Oxford University Press in the United Kingdom. This terrifying monster's name is derived from Skooka in Old English, which translates to devil fiend. This is fitting because the black shuck prefers to prowl at night along dark footpaths, yet it makes no sound when it walks, no matter what ground is beneath its feet. It's said that hearing the howl of this great beast will make a person's blood run cold. That is, assuming they're able to survive the encounter at all. Number 3 is the Ogopogo. Said to inhabit the waters of Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada, Ogopogo is a massive sea serpent that has been taunting locals and monster hunters alike since at least the 19th century. That was when First Nations people began telling stories of seeing it. The creature is allegedly between 12 and 15 meters long with a dragon-like head. In 1978, skeptic Bill Stekiuk spotted a trio of large dark humps coming out of the lake, which quickly made him a believer. However, he's far from being the first to see Ogopogo, as back in 1946, dozens of witnesses in 30 separate cars all claimed to see the serpent rise out of the water before disappearing again. People still claim to spot the monster today, with 3 separate sightings occurring within a 3-week period in September of 2018 alone. Number 2 is Grootslang. If you have a fear of snakes, then get ready for your worst nightmare. Considered to be a great mistake made by the gods, the Grootslang is a primordial monster said to be as old as the world itself, and so horrible that it was decided by the powers that be that it couldn't continue existing. Thus, it was split into 2 creatures, creating the first elephant and the first snake. However, one of the horrifying beasts escaped the gods' plan, and now terrorizes mankind. The Grootslang is described as a colossal serpent with huge tusks and long, sharp teeth. It's believed to still lurk inside a deep cave in the Richtersveld, a desert in South Africa, and both animal and human disappearances have been blamed on the terrifying creature's hunger. And number 1 is the Mothman. Spotted multiple times by several witnesses in and around Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Mothman terrorized people between November 12, 1966 and December 15, 1967. That is when it disappeared. It was first seen by a group of 5 men who were digging a grave and saw it swoop down, flying low from the trees over their heads before disappearing again into the sky. A few days later, the creature was seen by a pair of young couples who all corroborated the men's story. Described as a man-sized creature with huge wings and glowing red eyes, the Mothman has been connected to the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which took the lives of 46 people who were crossing it. Since then, reported sightings have all but stopped. However, the question is it still out there?